2, 1. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Junior Golf Podcast. I'm your host, Ro Thompson. Man, we got a special guest in the building tonight. Man, you know, I've known Justin probably now for about 6-7 years or more. He's kind of helped us out a lot, navigate through South Carolina Junior Golf. And, it's my pleasure to finally have him on the podcast. And I'd like to welcome everybody to the podcast, Mr. Justin Fleming. Hey, Justin.
How's it going, Ro? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for agreeing to being on, man. It's a pleasure. You've done a lot for the game of golf in South Carolina, and everybody appreciates what you do. Now, they may not say it, but I'm gonna tell you on the live podcast that, man, we appreciate everything you do for the game of golf in South Carolina. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, man. So tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into the golf and all of that. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I grew up, like all kids, playing all sports. And I guess early on, about 12, I realized baseball and golf didn't mix very well. And so chose to stick with golf. And, some of my first memories are South Carolina Junior Golf. I played in the chapter program, which is now the Hootie and the Blowfish Junior Golf Series. And that was up in the Greenwood area. And it's kind of funny because I work with James Park in the office. He works for the South Carolina Golf Association, and he's kind of our handicapping specialist. And he and I played a lot of junior golf together, like 13, 14, and now we work together. So it's kind of funny how the game of golf keeps you connected to your friends you make for the rest of your life. So, it's funny that my memories of, growing up are all junior golf, and a lot of these events that are 25, 30 years old now, I was playing in the first couple of them, which is kind of sad, but
right
kind of at the same time. So
good. Now, in terms of your golf game, how were you pretty good junior golfer?
Not really. I mean, I was just probably middle of the pack. I mean, the best I was going to shoot was 78, on 18 holes or so. But, and back then we didn't have all the tournaments we have now. So we had our local chapter stuff, and we had our big events, the state junior, and the CGA had their junior championship and a couple other things. But now it seems like there's 5 events every day on the week, in the summers especially. It
sure is. Y'all done an excellent job with that, and we'll get into that in a few minutes. But so tell us how you got started with the South Carolina Junior Golf Association.
So in college, I would come back home. I worked at Greenwood Country Club, and like everybody else that gets in the golf business, I was a cart guy that moved up into the shop and different things like that. Kind of just every summer I'd come home and work at Greenwood Country Club. And back then the Pee Wee Championship was hosted by Greenwood Country Club. And so I met Paul Rouillard and Chris Miller back then in the summer running that tournament. And they ended up needing someone the next summer. I'd graduated college, and they called me and just asked me if I wanted to come work with them. That was a long time ago. That was 2002.
Okay.
Believe it or not. So
that's 20 years. Wow.
20 years this June.
Okay.
So
that's all right. And so talk to us a little bit about the association. What is the South Carolina Junior Golf Association all about?
So the South Carolina Junior Golf Association is housed with the South Carolina Golf Association, which is the men's association. They have their own major championships, and they house the handicapping in South Carolina, and also the South Carolina Junior Golf Foundation. Junior golf was started in 1990, and the foundation followed there shortly after, and they raise funds for scholarships, other junior programs across the state, First Tee, Hook a Kid on Golf. We have our own par grant that helps people that need financial assistance, scholarship into our tournaments, even for their travel and accommodations and things like that. And so we're all in the same office. We've got 3 junior golf employees right now.
Okay.
But we have a ton of volunteers across the state. A lot of good people make us look pretty good.
That's good, man. Y'all, like I said, y'all done a lot for junior golf. And I remember, I don't know if you remember this or not, but John started in the God, what's that name of that program y'all had like 15
Probably
years
Little
ago?
Legends, maybe.
Oh man, the Little Legends was the stuff. I mean, that's where John started in the Little Legends. He was with the program over at Northwood with Josh. God, what's
Josh
Josh?
May.
Josh May. Yes, he
Yeah.
started up there with Josh May. So he's been in the program since he was about 3 or 4. So
Man,
he's been with y'all for about 11, 12 years.
that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So how do
awesome.
you become a SCJGA member?
So just go to our website, scjga.org. We've got a membership link on there, and membership is general membership is $30 a year, and that's January to December.
Okay.
That membership gives you access to our major championships and all of our one days and player series events. You get a packet in the mail, you get a bag tag, a sticker, player card, and that player card gives you access to courses all over the state. Different discounts, but it also makes you a member of the God, my mind just went blank here. Youth on Course, and
Yeah,
so
that's right. It's free. It's
yeah,
concluded.
it's free for
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina junior golf members, and it's a nationwide program that also gives discounts at courses all over. I think it's $5 around at the different facilities.
That's correct. You know, the only problem with the youth on course, Justin, is that
What's that?
Columbia, we don't have any courses that participate in Columbia.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So
I
it
did not know that.
might be something you may be able to look into for us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Northwoods, the Spur was the last course that participated, but they said they were
Okay.
going to kind of get away from it. So yeah, look into that for us.
Sure.
So great membership, and of course you have the summer series as well. Talk to us about, you got this new player series that y'all just came out with.
Yeah, so before I go into that, I'll mention we've got our summer series, which is the Hooting the Bloodfish series, which is, kind of where I got started. And it's just a summer program. We've got 14 regions across the state. So we've got one in Columbia, we've got Aiken, Mount Pleasant, Charles, you name it. They're all the big metropolitan areas,
All over.
kind of a home base.
Mm-hmm.
That does it. It allows juniors ages 8 to 18 to compete locally against their local age group and gender, and have some local success. And those are typically on Mondays in the summer.
Right.
And they have anywhere from, some areas only have 4 to 6 events, and some have 10 or 12. And there's a points system with that, depending on how you play each week, and you play all summer long. And our top 2 players from each division locally go into an all-star tournament. And so that's a great place for people. I think about juniors, boys and girls that play on their high school team and maybe haven't cracked that top 5, that starting 5.
Right.
That's a great place for them to kind of continue the game throughout the summer and keep that competitiveness going. But this player series we started, we've really needed it for a while. And it's something that I've kind of wanted to do for a while. We just haven't really had the staff to do it. And we just really, honestly, probably haven't had the guts to try it. But the game has become so popular, and our major championships, which are completely separate, we have 18 of those a year.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like travel baseball. So if you're listening and you're a junior golfer, there's tournament. It's hard to get in these major championships. Some are easier than others, but some are really hard. And so I just got tired of answering that phone call on
can we get in,
and we were turning away sometimes 200 kids. And so that's an opportunity.
Yeah.
And we felt like, one, it's an opportunity for us to be the answer and have a place for them to play.
Right.
And 2, we could kind of use it and use those events, create this series called the Player Series, and create a ranking system for that, and offer exemptions into our majors the following year. And so we've kind of followed the Corn Ferry Tour's system and setup. So, if a player wins a tournament, they're going to automatically be exempt for the rest of the year in that series. And we're giving them exemptions this year on the 22 calendar for about 3 or 4 tournaments. And then at the end of the season, we're going to take the top point earner in that program, kind of player of the year, and she is going to be exempt for all of our majors next year, with the exception of one national event, which is really big. That's going to get them in the Junior Heritage, the Blade, the Players Championship, all these tough events to get into. And so
Good.
We're excited about it. We're going to have 11 tournaments this year. We're also going to add an event that we kind of got away from, the 4-ball. So it'll be a team event on the schedule, which should be fun for those players.
Okay.
So we're kind of doing two things at once. We're giving a player a place to play that might get turned away normally, so they can kind of work on their game, but also they actually earn something from it instead of just playing golf. So we're excited.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, John did pretty decent in the first one. I think that was at Fort Jackson, if I'm not mistaken. And then we had Fripp. Now, Fripp was a whole different animal.
Yeah.
It was 40 degrees, 40 miles an hour winds. It was just a different beast. But, you know, you got to get used to playing in all types of weather. So
that's right.
You know, so there you go. So so the Player Series is out. And then y'all have the BMW Pro-Am Junior Clinic.
Well, yeah, that's something new that it's, you know, I would just say anybody listening that likes golf in general, the BMW Charity Pro-Am, we've never really had a presence. We've been a part of clinics in the past and we've gotten away from it. And so those folks reached out to us this year. And on Tuesday of the BMW Charity Pro-Am, we're going to do a junior clinic up at Thornblade.
Okay.
It's going to be a South Carolina junior golf clinic. We're getting some sponsors involved. And so if you're in the area and we would love to have any junior up there that day, because we'll, you know, it won't be anything crazy over the top, but it'll be at 5 p.m. that day. We're actually, that's the first round of the Upstate Junior. So we're going to be in Smithfield running one of our majors.
Okay.
But those juniors could come. We're going to have hopefully some of our former players that are on the Corn Ferry Tour helping us out with that clinic. And it would just be a cool experience to kind of almost get inside the ropes and right there and watch some of these pros hit balls up close.
Okay. I'll definitely put that on the schedule.
I think that's Tuesday, June the 7th is when
right. And is that in Easley, if I'm not mistaken?
Well, the tournament we're running is in Easley at Smithfield.
Okay.
The actual BMW Charity Pro-Am is going to be at Carolina Country Club in Spartanburg and Thornblade over in Greer.
Okay.
And Thornblade's where the junior clinic will be that Tuesday.
Right. Okay. Good. And y'all got something going on at the Heritage as well?
Yeah, and that one, that's just, again, if you're down in that low country area, or if you plan on coming to the Heritage, the South Carolina Golf Association, we have a sponsors tent on the 18th hole. And so part of what we're going to do is we've always helped out with their junior day. And so that's another way for juniors to kind of come in, get inside the ropes. They actually come up on the putting green where the pros are and get to roll a few putts, get a few prizes, giveaways. And we usually get a couple of pros to come help the kids kind of work their way through that, which is kind of cool.
Man, that's going to be a great experience.
Yeah, that's a real cool experience. That's Tuesday. I don't know the exact time on that, but that's Tuesday of the Heritage. And I'm sure there'll be some information on our social media post.
Yeah, that's good. John did the Heritage one year as the bearer, standard bearer.
Yeah.
So he was able to get inside the ropes with Sam Saunders.
That's cool.
And one more guy, I can't remember the name of right now, but he was able to walk with them for 18 holes. He didn't really like the carrying the post the whole time, but he enjoyed the experience. It was a really good experience.
That's cool
for him. And we're trying to get down there for spring break, because you know that the Heritage is most spring breaks this week. So we're trying to get down there because we typically are down there during the Heritage. And so we're just waiting on a call to get down there as well. So cool. Looking forward to that. And y'all got a new logo too, right, Justin?
We do, and I wish I could show it to you. I don't know how I'll show it to you now, but yeah, we had a junior golf logo that Paul Rouillard created, and it was a great logo, and we kind of got away from it for a couple of years, and we got a new logo that was more of like a letterhead logo, and we had a hard time putting it on our giveaways, and so we got away from that. For a while, using the Golf Association logo, which is the tree. Everybody knows the South Carolina Golf Association tree is kind of an iconic logo.
Right.
And so we wanted something that we could use to put on a hat and things like that. And so we're excited about it. We're waiting on some hats as we speak. So we've ordered a bunch of hats and the cool thing about it is hard to visualize, especially without seeing it. I don't have it in front.
I made you
two logos in one.
I made you a co-host too. So if you if you could share it, you're more than welcome to. If you familiar with Zoom, there's a share button at the bottom, and if you want to just share, if you have the logo pulled up, and if you want to share your screen, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah.
So I made you a co-host.
I don't know if I could pull that off.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. I'll put it up on the South Carolina Junior Golf page, and
okay, I'll send it over to you.
Okay, and so Justin, let me ask you this before we get to a couple more questions. Mm-hmm. Do y'all have like intern positions or any positions that y'all are looking to hire some people on?
Yeah, so I mentioned this player series, and we're not only growing with more tournaments. With that, we need more staff, and so we're actually looking to hire a full-time position right now. We've got it posted on a couple of places, but we need a tournament director, kind of an entry-level position, like I came on board back in 2002. But we're looking for a full-time position on the junior golf staff, and we're also looking for a intern that would start in June, and that could be 3 to 6 months depending on the person and the situation. That would also be a tournament person. So looking for 2 people right now.
Okay, good. And how can our listeners follow you on all the platforms? Are y'all on Instagram? Are y'all on all the
social media? We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SCJGA.
Okay, good. So our listeners will be able to follow you. All right, so Justin, anything else you'd like our listeners to know? This is going to go out on a lot of different platforms all over South Carolina. Anything else you'd like our listeners to know about the South Carolina Junior Golf Association?
No, I mean, we would love to have you as a member in one of our programs. I think the beauty of our association is we have something for everybody, and if we don't, we try to turn you on to who does. And so we just did we had an event where we spoke with the U.S. kids. And okay. So we don't have a lot for kids 12 and under. And in our events, you have to play on your own. Your parents can help you. The little ones can carry clubs between holes, but you don't get caddies. So if you're ready to make that next step to competitive golf, we probably have a place for you as long as you can carry your clubs and, pick your own shots and that sort of thing. So we'd love to have you. And if, like I said, we do have a foundation. And so if the expense of the game is something that holds you back, I grew up that way and probably could have played in a lot more tournaments if I'd have had a little help. And I did have help from some people. Yes. So I always like to plug that. Don't let that hold you back. We can get you into our tournaments. Don't let finances hold you back. So
that's really good. That's really good, Justin, because it is expensive. And, it's one of those things where you have to look at lessons, you have to look at equipment, you have to look at, registration, you have to look at hotels. So you do have to look at a lot of stuff when it comes to junior golf. Let me ask you this. What are the chances? I know you've had the Hootie and the Blowfish series for a while. And I think I asked you this before. What are the chances of Hootie and the Blowfish coming to one of the events so all the juniors can meet Hootie and the guys?
That's out of my pay grade right there. I wish I could answer that and give you a firm yes.
I know, right?
We're fortunate that Hootie and the Blowfish, Monday after the Masters, has been so good to South Carolina Junior Golf. They're probably the biggest supporters of ours financially. As a matter of fact, I know they are since inception, and they're so good to us. We go down and we help them with the Monday after the Masters, and that's as close as we get. So
yeah,
that partnership, and we look forward to going down and helping out. But that's something that we should maybe work on. How that we could pull that off, because it's hard to get all in together at once. But
unless it's a concert, right?
Cool. Yeah.
Hey, listen. So Darius is down for the collegiate. Darius Rucker is down there for the collegiate in Hilton Head. So that was a great tournament down there. Yeah. So I have to get down. I have to get down to one of the Monday after the Masters. I haven't had a chance to experience that yet.
That is a fun event. I'm looking forward to it because, they haven't had it the last 2 years because of COVID. And I think this year's going to be still a little different, but kind of trending in the right direction. So we're excited.
Yeah, I'm excited about those numbers coming down. So
Yeah.
we're looking forward to it. And we do have a guest on. I wanted to open it up if we had any guests. I think Richard, you have any questions for Justin?
Hey, Justin, how are you? This is Richard Lambert. First time here. And wondering, do you all work with the PGA management programs in South Carolina for hiring staff?
We used to have a real good contact with Clemson's PGM program, and I think they've done away with that program. So we've kind of lost that connection, but we did, because, we would hire interns and we would send it to him to get out to his guys or girls. And, but I'm not working with one directly at the moment.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks for being on, Rich. All right. So Justin, man, again, it's been a pleasure. Again, I want to thank you for everything that you've done for South Carolina Junior Golf and John's career. Hopefully he can get into college and, maybe take it a little bit further. He's going into his freshman year at Spring Valley, and, they start, I think next week. They got a scrimmage this week, and then, of course, he starts next week. So we're looking forward to having a really busy year with the South Carolina Junior Golf Association, man. So appreciate everything you do, okay?
Thank you. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Hey, you're welcome, man. Thanks for coming on, okay?
You got it. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.